Goodness crikey, bloody blimey, Little Socks went to London. Yes, last Friday I was invited to an exclusive Jurassic World Evolution 3 event in the capital city, so I packed my tiny bag, popped my social anxiety to one side, and promptly got lost trying to find the venue. My first thanks go to Corvus and Nerd Chacho for helping me actually get there through sending various photos like I was a lost grandparent. On arrival, we were immediately swarmed by actors and the roleplay began. "Which department are you here for?" they asked. Now, I'm a big fan of immersive theatre, but at points I wasn't sure if I was being welcomed to the event or being auditioned for a role myself. Credit where it's due though, Secret Cinema went all in. The whole place had been transformed into the Dinosaur Integration Network, complete with signage, props, paperwork being shuffled, actors whispering asides to each other. At points I was wondering if they were getting more out of it than we were. There were several times where I was like, are you actually asking me a question, or is this just part of the roleplay? But I powered through like the hero I am, and the tour of the DIN began by heading down to look at some terrariums. Here, an actress who had clearly consumed 3 espressos before we arrived tried to keep us up to speed on the variety of maps and biomes we'll see in the game. Each one comes with its own flora, and of course every dinosaur has very particular enclosure requirements. Thankfully in-game this is made wonderfully intuitive. Little heart icons show you exactly what a dinosaur likes. It's cute, it's clever, and it means I no longer have to feel guilty about feeding a rainforest herbivore nothing but gravel. Next we were ushered outside for my favourite pastime, audience participation, where I very firmly did not participate. This chap wanted us to tidy up for him. Does he know who I am? He told us more about enclosure specifics like nests and feeders, and then we got transported back to a children's birthday party from the 90s where we got to meet a guy with a puppet. Sorry, we got to meet a very real baby dinosaur, which, by the way, is the new feature they're extremely very proud of, juvenile dinosaurs. Yes, tiny bebe dinos, genetics, lineage, the whole lot. Very Planet Zoo but with sharper teeth. Next we headed back up to get a closer look at some features like blueprinting, hot air balloons, boat rides, and security in walls. Walls, everyone. Walls. Finally, it was time to play. Each of us had our very own powerful PC, which I absolutely did not try to smuggle into my backpack. Complete with name tags and a lunch bag I tore open like the ravenous dino I am. We got one last in-character pep talk from an American man before Andy Fletcher himself, the actual game designer, appeared for the real introduction. We watched a bloody marvellous cinematic video and then jumped into the game. So, the game itself. First impressions? It's very pretty. Yes, it was running on a graphics card that probably cost more than my car, but still, the muddy water alone distracted me for longer than I'd like to admit. Now, confession time. I've never played the first 2 games. I went in blind. You know what? It's incredibly intuitive. The campaign tutorial held my hand without making me feel like a toddler with crayons. Placed facilities, managed maintenance, and then the vehicles. Oh boy. ATVs, helicopters, massive mobile vet trucks. I spent an embarrassing amount of time just driving around. And to Frontier's credit, the vehicle mechanics are excellent. Not sim racer excellent, but absolutely good enough that I found myself thinking, Planet Coaster, Planet Zoo, why can't I do this there? I tranked some dinosaurs, repaired fences, and shuffled some Diplodocuses around, which by the way look absurdly funny, like trying to tow a parade float with dental floss. I fiddled with foliage, hired staff, and got through all the standard campaign beats. Then I was offered sandbox mode, which is where I dove into the building system. And honestly, I'm jealous. The backstage pieces alone made me irrationally happy, and at the same time irrationally furious they don't exist in Planet Coaster. And yes, I did manage to crash the game. Consider it my gift to Frontier QA. After this point I was just messing around with build parts and doing a lot more driving. I'm sorry, it was just really good, okay? Towards the end of the session, things escalated. Lights flickered, audio drones built up, actors started panicking into radios, a full-blown meltdown. It was immersive, it was dramatic, and it was also impossible to focus on the game. After about 10 minutes of rising chaos, I gave up, took my headphones off, and accepted my fate. We were eventually ushered into a bunker in what can only be described as a budget nemesis Subterra. But credit where it's due, they pulled it off well. If I wasn't such a joyless bastard, I probably would have been fully immersed. Back upstairs, I finally met some of the Frontier team. My influencer managers Kat and Chris, and the legendary community manager Chantel, who is every bit as delightful as you'd expect. Goodie bag in hand, I left genuinely impressed. All sarcasm aside, Frontier and Secret Cinema put together a phenomenal event, and it was brilliant meeting Nerd Chacho and Corvus in person. So, as someone who's never played the previous games, I'm genuinely excited to jump into this one, and I can't wait to share it with you all. Thanks for listening to me waffle on about my day. Are you a Jurassic World Evolution fan? What are you most excited for in the third installment? Please let me know in the comments, and I'll catch you all very soon.